never can say goodbye. No, 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 I never can say goodbye. Even though the pain and heartache seems to follow me wherever I go. Y'all better pretend that that's good. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com for this Hilda hat. Now, the black flower with the black hat is sold out. I think I sold that one for $25. I told you everything is on sale over there. But I have one of these left, and I think I'm selling this for $20. End of the summer sale. We're trying to get rid of everything so we can prepare for the fall winter. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube, and for a small monthly fee of $5. You babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about Randy Terrible Lele's The Magic, the Madness, the whole story. Michael Jackson. By the end of 1969, Michael Jackson, now 11 years old and reunited with his mother, was a bubbly, energetic, and happy youngster. In December, Motown Records released the brothers' first album. Diana Ross presents The Jacksons. Michael read an advance proof of the album jacket in one of Motown's offices as his brothers and a promotion man looked on. Wouldn't even let us play our own instruments on the album, Tito grumbled. That's because you wasn't good enough. Very Bad Bug Bites was like, okay, them little strings and plucks and shiz you was doing over there in that Gary, Indiana living room, that's fine for Gary, Indiana in that living room. But this is Motown. And we have professionals here. Not that you can't teach yourself and be a professional. I mean, it's tons of people who are self-taught. Like, who is that? Bobby Womack, one of the greatest guitarists of all time, wasn't technically trained. But obviously, to Berry Gordy, you ain't good enough. I mean, I don't know what your father told you, but I mean, for real, I'm the pappy. In truth, Tito and Jermaine were not permitted to play their bass and guitar in Motown sessions because Berry didn't think they were ready for studio work. All of the instrumental music was recorded by Motown's top team of musicians before the Jacksons even got to the studio. That ain't nothing new. I mean, goddamn, they did a whole Supremes album without the friggin' Supremes. The boys would then have to learn to duplicate the sound as best they could for live performances. Ain't that a kick in the ass? You mean to tell me my Tito guitaring wasn't good enough? Not for the Berry Gordy. Later in the month, on December 14th, 1969, the Jackson 5 appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show. Although they had already made one national television appearance on the Hollywood Palace in October, being asked to perform on the Ed Sullivan Show was an important milestone in their career. The program couldn't credit its success to its host, stiff and usually unsmiling Sullivan, a columnist for the New York Daily News, did little more than introduce his guests, whose names he routinely mispronounced or forgot. As was his tradition, Sullivan engaged in some minimal banter with his guests, but he soon turned his attention to a member of the audience, the person who discovered the Jackson 5 Diana Ross. Diana, clad in what can only be described as a grown-up version of a little girl's pink organdy party dress, stood and modestly took a bow. The difficult task at hand for Motown was to follow the Jackson 5's first #1 record with another chart topper. Berry Gordy gave the chore to Deke Richards and the corporation. One night, I was at Fonz Mizelle's and Freddie Perrin's apartment, and we were fooling around on their electric piano, recalled Deke Richards. And I started thinking about Holland Dozier Holland and how they often did the same types of records over and over again, using the same progression. Ninja, what? If you knew that out there, I never paid attention to it. But when I think about it, a lot of the Temptations hits written by and produced by Holland Dozier Holland has the same underbeat. I don't know if that's the correct word. You musicians would have to check me and tell me, but it does. It just has that same deep, funky bass line. I started thinking about Holland Dozier Holland and how they often did the same types of records over and over again, using the same progression. Theirs was a proven hit formula. So I took a section of I Want You Back, the part where the group sings the chorus, and decided to make those exact same chords the foundation of their next single, ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3. That's it, Deke told his partners, laughing. That's a hit. In a short time, the three men were in the studio recording the song ABC with Michael and his brothers. In February 1978, Motown released ABC as the second Jackson 5 single. Freddie Perrin recalled after those two hits, Berry kept asking, what about the follow-up? The song was The Love You Save, which was released in May 1970. Another terrific teeny bopper song with a breathless lead by Michael. The Jackson 5 made their first concert appearance as a Motown attraction at the Philadelphia Convention Center on Saturday evening, May 2nd, 1970. Despite their terrific record sales, no one could have guessed how popular they had become in barely 5 months. More than 3,500 screaming fans mobbed Philadelphia International Airport, hoping to catch a glimpse of the young brothers. Only a huge force of Philadelphia's finest and airport security protected the Jacksons from being completely overwhelmed. Going like that shiz. You know, all that action going on out there, them hundreds and thousands of people, I'm the same way. At least 7 are crazy. And one of them might pull that thing out and start popping. Okay, so I'm nervous. Michael nervous. Jermaine and Tito is like, look at them bitches. Needless to say, at the next event, Motown did a better job of protecting the Jackson 5. I don't even understand why you don't even get the concept that it's little boys. And little girls be crazy over little boys. A month later, the company issued the Jackson 5's first ballad, I'll Be There. Switching gears to a ballad seemed to Gordy to be the obvious next step. Yes, it would have to be the right song in order to be accepted by fans accustomed to an upbeat sound. I'll Be There was a tender blend of soulful pleading and sweetly delivered impersonation. I'll Be There pushed Neil Diamond's Cracklin' Rose out of the #1 position on Billboard's pop charts and became Motown's biggest selling record. The company claimed that over 4 million copies were eventually sold, but actually the figure totaled some 800,000 copies. So we ain't surprised about that. You know, we ain't surprised that the Motown will tell you a lie to keep you in them fields, okay, picking the cotton. I mean, Jay-Z did it. Jay-Z did it with his, remember when he had Tidal or Tattle or something like that, and he was lying about how many streams people were getting? You know, he actually had to lie, and just to note, they both are Sagittarians, in order to get people to believe in themselves and the company. So this is hence another example of them records spray painted gold that Berry Gordy hands out from time to time. Here you go, nigga. You did just fine. And people looking around, why I'm not getting more money? You told me we sold millions of albums. Millions. We should be getting millions of money. But in reality, they was only selling like a couple of, not a couple, because 800,000 is nothing to sneeze at. But there's a disparage between the two. 800,000 record sales is different from 4 million record sales. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I mean, it's the Gordy way. That's the bullshit he did. By January 1971, 12-year-old Michael Jackson understood that entertainment was a difficult business. He had witnessed as much for the last couple of years, but still managed to take in his stride the pressures of recording, touring, and making television appearances. His success was still too new to be anything but a constant thrill. This is the best thing that ever happened to us, Michael said of his family's accomplishments. Miss Ross had told me that people in show business can get hurt. I don't see how. At this time, Motown issued the Jackson 5's fifth single, Mama's Pearl. The Jackson 5's next single, Never Can Say Goodbye. No, 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 I never can say goodbye. Even though the pain and heartache seems to follow me wherever I go. I love that song. And let me tell you what I didn't know. Why you ninjas didn't tell me this? That the Reverend from Amen, you know Amen with Sherman Hemsley. Turn on a light from heaven, Lord. Shine on me. You know Amen. Okay? Why the fuck y'all ain't tell me that the Reverend wrote that song? Anyway, Clifton Davis was worried because he was like, how is this little boy going to relay the emotion that the song require? Michael Jackson did it effortlessly. You know, the book talks about how, of course, he would listen to, I forget those kind of tapes, like, is it a demo tape? I don't know what it is, but you would have a session singer, I guess, that would show the singer how to sing the song. Okay, you want to put inflection there, you want to keep it low here, this is how you do it. Okay, besides that, and Deke Richards constantly prodding him, going, okay, remember your diction and your enunciation. Michael Jackson was able to capture the emotion from the song. Never can say goodbye. No, 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 I never can say goodbye. Even though the pain and heartache seems to follow me wherever I go. Y'all better pretend that that's good. Okay, y'all know I be just in the mood just to be singing. The song's writer, actor Clifton Davis, recalled this was an emotional song that meant a lot to me when I wrote it. I was worried that Michael might not understand the lyrics of pain and heartbreak. I recall him asking about one of the lines. What's this word mean, anguish? He asked. I explained it. He shrugged his shoulders and just sang the line. There's that anguish, there's that doubt, he sang, and I believed him. I mean, because it is the Michael Jackson. On May 5th, 1971, after the boys returned from another national tour, the Jacksons moved into their large estate at 4641 Havenhurst in Encino, California. The one in which Joseph, Catherine, and miscellaneous other Jacksons who aren't Michael and Janet still live today. Joseph, and that's a dig. Ooh, terrible lady, you be a shady bitch. Joseph and Catherine purchased the property for $250,000. They moved in a day after Catherine's 41st birthday. Catherine had asked Joseph not to sell the 2-bedroom home in Gary, just in case the family fortunes took a turn for the worst, and they all had to move back to Indiana. I get it. Although Joseph didn't think that such a reversal of fortunes was likely, he decided to rent rather than sell the house at 2300 Jackson Street. Today, the property is worth roughly $100,000 and still owned by the family. What? I mean, okay, granted, this is back when, you know, you could when you could literally buy a house, even if you're poor. I get it. But a house previously owned by the Jacksons is only worth $100,000, even in the late 90s, early 2000s. No. If it wasn't the Jacksons' house, then maybe it would be worth $100,000. But that's the Jacksons' house, man. Girl, Johnny Jackson and Ronnie Rancifer, the Jackson 5's drummer and organist, moved into the household with the rest of the family. This arrangement occurred because Joseph and Catherine were concerned about the influence both boys, but particularly Johnny, were having on their sons. Both youngsters liked to spend what little money they was given rather than save it. They were also smoking cigarettes and drinking liquor. Well, Jackie, Jermaine, and Tito over there fucking on bitch.
Oh,